Oh, it was delightful. You know, he said that ich bin appellisch Jid, ich red heimisch Jiddisch. Aber ihr redt als a fein Jiddisch, aber das ist nicht heimisch Jiddisch. Das ist intelligenter Yiddish. Yes, but if I could write like you in my literary Yiddish, I would be very glad, and I'm so glad that you write in your Hamish Yiddish. And it was the first time that he was interviewed for the broadcasting in Yiddish. And he immediately, of course, recognized my Litvak accent. I said, "Oi, a Litvak, a mitnag."
And where was this?
In Sweden. First time was when he received his Nobel Prize. And I told the broadcasting director that you have to send me. I'm the only one in the whole Scandinavia who speaks his language. Yes, of course, you go ahead. I went with my 14 kilos of tape recorder, yes, in those days. And then the second time was when he visited Stockholm. I can't remember what it was, some kind of occasion. And his publisher, Dorothea Bromberg, a Polish-Jewish woman, a refugee from 1968 to Sweden, called me and said, "Karmela, you have to come. He's here again, or he will come again. And I'll give you a whole day with him." That was something. And you know, he was well past 80, and he was a vegetarian, and he ate like a bird, literally like a bird. And then he came with a whole entourage of people with him. He had his wife, Alma, and then he had his so-called secretary. And, threesome, kind of trio. And Alma was a drag. I can't describe her in any other fashion. And his secretary wasn't that young anymore. It must have been in her 60s. Was his, whatever. Never asked, never told, but he knew, I knew that he, yes, and so on. And I spent a whole day with him. We went everywhere, speaking Yiddish, and he was so delighted. And then we sat down, and I said, "Could I have about an hour with you without your whole entourage and Dorothea and things?" And I said, "Yes, of course." And we went in the publishing office. Dorothea gave her office to us, and we sat there. And then we discussed Jewish Poland then, which didn't exist in the 1980s. And we discussed his childhood and his writings. And then I said, "How do you write?" Ich hab halt zu erzählen a jiddische Meise, a jiddische Meise. That's it. And I said, and I told myself that that would be my device too. I too like to tell a Yiddish Meise, which I do in my writings. My very modest writings compared to his master. But we had a kind of rapport and liked each other. And he had the bluest eyes, and no wonder he had Alma, who was a drag, but who was obviously a very good wife, and then he had his secretary. I'm sure he had many secretaries with those blue eyes.